On special edition of SUTV News, we talk about SHIP's service dogs, pets, and have a sit-down interview with the executive director of the local animal shelter. All that and more right here on the Shippensburg University DogCast. Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to the SU DogCast. I'm your host, Bailey Casada. We start tonight with the furry friends who help their humans, whether that be emotionally or physically. You have heard of the service, emotional support, and therapy dogs, but are those terms interchangeable? What's the difference between them? Let's take a look. Service dogs are certified to aid those that have disabilities. Some examples of service dogs include seeing eye dogs, hearing dogs, or seizure alert dogs. They are trained to do particular tasks for a person with a physical or mental disability. In other words, therapy, emotional support, seeing eye, medical, and more fall under this category. Now for the big question. What's the difference between a therapy and emotional support dog? After all, both of their jobs are to support people with their mental and emotional well-being. The Shippensburg University Wellness Program welcomes therapy dogs once a month for students to visit. Let's check out what our very own Quinn Ernie learned about at this event.
Today is November 1st, 2022, and just behind me, the Cub here at Shippensburg University currently has some service dogs. Let's go ahead and ask them some questions. After all, they are man's best friend, and quite honestly, I like it whenever I ask my friends about my friends.
What's your name?
I really want a cookie. Can I have that one? Please? I really like cookies.
Wow. Could you stop looking at the microphone?
Oh, but why won't you give me the cookie? That's not a microphone. That's a cookie. I want it. I want to eat it. That looks so yummy. I can smell it.
My name's Tom Kennedy. I'm retired. I've trained several dogs for the Franklin County Veteran Affairs. This is Harper, and she was one of the dogs I was training, and we couldn't get her to stop startling at loud noises. She's now a certified therapy dog through the Alliance of Therapy Dogs, and we're members of the Kindly Canines. It's a volunteer group that go to functions like this. We go to nursing homes, libraries, schools, different venues where the dogs can help calm people. And everywhere we go, people are so glad to see the dogs. And the first thing you hear from the people is, I miss my dog, and they want to tell you all about their dog, which is great.
Thank you so much, Tom Kennedy. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Quinn. To learn more about the wellness program at Shippensburg University, check out their Instagram at ShipWellness. So now we know that therapy dogs provide comfort to people that may experience a lot of stress and can be found in places like schools, hospitals, and nursing homes. Let's now take a look at what the term emotional support means. Similar to therapy dogs, emotional support dogs provide comfort and relieve anxiety. However, it is not required for emotional support dogs to be trained, and they strictly comfort one person who is their owner. If you're a student on campus, you may have seen a few of these dogs around SHIP, such as the first Shippensburg student we're featuring. Haley Anderson is a graduate student and works in the Career, Mentoring, and Professional Development Center at Shippensburg University. Her PTSD emotional support dog, Oliver, has been considered an icon on campus. His presence at Shippensburg provides positivity to the community, from being crowned homecoming royalty to graduating alongside Haley for her undergraduate degree. Haley said that this dog has literally saved her life and served as a helpful sidekick since 2017. Oliver, also nicknamed Ollie, helps her feel much less anxious in public and calms her down during panic attacks. As a person with a service dog, many people are curious and approach her to ask questions. When our team interviewed her, she said that most questions she gets asked are thoughtful. However, on the occasion, they can be rude. Because she's an able-bodied person, some people approach her saying, well, why do you need a dog? What's wrong with you? Let's stop there for a second. there's a misunderstanding about service animals in general. Many people may assume that in order to have a support dog, you must have a disability that people can see. This is simply not true. What you see on the outside of people is not always what is going on inside. You never know what someone's battling, whether that be severe anxiety, depression, PTSD, or even something like having low blood sugar. If you see someone with a service dog and feel compelled to ask a question, please think about how you phrase it, because while you may have good intentions, it can come off as rude or degrading to the handler. If you would like to hear more about Haley and Ollie's story, check out the SU DogCast podcast on Spotify. If you are a student that is interested in bringing a service animal to Shippensburg University, please contact the Office of Accessibility Resources at oar@ship.edu or stop by during the weekday between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. in Maury Hall 252. Just outside of Shippensburg, the Franklin County Veterans Affairs is helping those who served with Operation Save a Vet, Save a Pet. Our very own Caitlin Gladen gives us the details.
Service dogs are useful for many things. From police and fire dogs to emotional support dogs, they have helped assist humans for decades. Located at the Franklin County Veterans Affairs in Chambersburg is a program dedicated to help veterans through service dogs. The Save a Vet, Save a Pet program is an operation that connects veterans with service-related disabilities to a service dog. Veterans can struggle with post-traumatic stress disorder or different disabilities, including hearing loss, scars, paralysis, or other forms of limited motion. The dogs for Save a Vet, Save a Pet operation come from nearby animal shelters or rescues. The dogs also go through training before being paired with a vet. Save a Vet, Save a Pet is funded through private donations. At least 4 service dogs have been paired with veterans since the beginning of the program. Back to Bailey at the desk.
Coming up after the break, we highlight the pets on and off campus. Stay tuned.
Are you failing a class or don't know what you're doing? You're in luck. Shippensburg Primary Academic Resource Center is free to all SHIP students. The Student Success Center, also known as the Learning Center, is located on the first floor of Maury Hall. The center provides a variety of services, including course-based tutoring, writing tutoring, and learning specialists. To schedule an in-person or Zoom appointment, visit the Student Success Center collaborative website, ship.campus.eab.com. I'm Will Nicholson with SUTV.
Are you having a hard time focusing on your work? Why not check out the Ezra Lehman Memorial Library? The library has many resources like the IT desk on the main floor. For computer assistance, see the experts. Need to print in black and white or color? Don't worry, the library offers both options on different floors. You can use the bottom floor for group work and the top floor for when you need silence. Don't forget to stop by Starbucks. Check out library.ship.edu for more information. This is a public service announcement from SUTV.
Here at Multicultural Student Affairs, we value every student. No matter your race or ethnicity, you are guaranteed a home here. MSA offers many resources: a place to study, a place to meditate, a place to socialize, or a safe place to communicate issues or talk with a faculty member. Come down to Gilbert Hall today and join our family. Our roots run deep. Why not grow together? This is a public service announcement from MSA.
If you're looking for a way to get involved and inform the community, student media is the place to be. With SHIP's award-winning newspaper, The Slate, Emmy-winning television station SUTV, campus radio station 88.7 WSYC, and Public Relations Society PRSSA, no matter what you're interested in, student media has something for you. Visit the second floor of the Cub or Roland Hall for more information. This is a public service message from SUTV.
Welcome back to the SU DogCast. I'm Bailey Casada. Dogs can be found everywhere on campus, from the students living on and off campus. Professors in their offices and even the president of Shippensburg University have adorable companions. But if you're a student looking to bring your dog to your dorm, unfortunately you may be out of luck. According to SHIP's resident hall rules regulations, no animals or pets of any kind are permitted in the residence halls except assistance animals and fish. So, although you may not be able to bring your furry friend as an additional roommate, you may have the chance to if you move off campus, like our next featured dog owner. Quinn Ernie tells us more.
Frederick Hardman, who is a senior, has a 1.5-year-old German Shepherd named Egret. He got his adorable pup from a breeder in 2020, and they've been best friends since. He says that having a dog as a college student is hard work, but it is worth it. Fred has still been able to get involved on campus by balancing his time wisely, with German Shepherds being a larger breed. It is so important to make sure they're able to get outside and exercise. Another thing that he has had to consider is which apartment complexes would allow Egret to live with him. Fred lives in Rocktown Student Townhouses, which is an apartment complex that is very dog-friendly. The landlord for Rocktown is Melissa Wilson, who says due to many dogs living in the apartments, it is their plan to build a dog park. Back to you at the desk, Bailey.
Thanks, Quinn. Owning a dog can be a challenge, but owning a dog while in college, well, that's an even bigger challenge. Here are a few tips that help you decide whether to take that furry pal with you. Number 1, think about the kind of dog you want or already have. Do you want a puppy to raise or an older dog that is already trained? While puppies are cute, remember that you have classes throughout the day, and that may take time away from the training and bonding your dog needs. Having an older dog that doesn't need to be trained may work better with your schedule. Older dogs are also easier to adapt to your routine, as long as you keep a consistent one. Number 2, are you high or low energy? Just like people, dogs have different personalities and require physical activity. Before you choose an energetic breed, like a husky, make sure you can match their need to be active. If you prefer couch potato breeds like bulldogs or basset hounds, who are lower maintenance, still be ready to spend time with them often. Ask your local animal shelter what type of dog best matches your lifestyle. Number 3, pick an apartment or house that allows pets. Most college campuses are not pet friendly unless their pet is a registered service animal. You may need to rent a house on or off campus to accommodate your furry friend. Not to mention, the dorms are tiny and you will not have the space you, your pet, and additional roommates need to live. Be sure to also check your campus rules and see if they will allow you to walk or play with your new best friend. Number 4, do your research when adopting. A forever friend and research the place where you are adopting your pet is just a must. Many places are more than happy to tell you about the care of their animals. If not, you may need to look into any possible behavioral issues or health concerns. Another good thing to do is research the food safety. Check the food brands you are planning to buy and make sure that they are the right fit for your dog. Human food is something that you should also research before you start handing off leftovers to your pet. Most people know chocolate is a no-go, but there are many more foods and even plants to steer clear of when housing animals. Especially around the holidays like just now with Thanksgiving, you need to be careful what you're feeding your dog. And number 5, set clear boundaries. While in college, you're likely to be living with other people. Make sure to set clear rules when bringing home your new dog. No matter how big or small, have a set of do's and don'ts and make them clear to your roommate or friends when they are around your pet. We hope you found these tips helpful. If you need more guidance, there are plenty of resources online and shelters that are happy to answer your questions you may have about owning a dog. Speaking of being a dog owner, the Cumberland Valley Animal Shelter is a local organization dedicated to helping animals and find a home in a community. They host numerous events to raise awareness and funds to continue to support four-legged friends like dogs, cats, rabbits, gerbils, and more. Our crew took a trip to the Chambersburg Mall to check out their annual dog walk event. Let's take a look.
The Cumberland Valley Animal Shelter has hosted a dog walk during October. The event took place at the Chambersburg Mall, Initially hosted at the animal shelter, the annual event has been taking place for 22 years. The event is an opportunity for the community to take part in raising money and donations to help the shelter. The shelter raised a record $20 grand in 2021. One of the participants at the event was excited to tell us more.
Sure. My name's Brenda Hallbaker, and this is Lily, and this is Ivy. And today we were here at the Chambersburg Mall to help raise funds for the Cumberland Valley Animal Shelter. They hold an annual dog walk every year as a main fundraiser for the shelter. It helps to take care of the pets that are at the shelter until they find their forever homes. So it helps with veterinary care, food, litter for cats, different supplies that are needed to help keep the animals healthy until they find their forever homes.
The event workers mentioned how the mall has become an easy venue to host the annual dog walk. They said it takes a lot less time to set up and gives them an additional day prior to the event. This is Quinn Ernie, SUTV News. Back to Bailey at the desk.
Wasn't that just a wonderful event? Isn't that just so cute? We're so glad to see events like that still happening in our community, especially after COVID. I can't imagine how hard that must be. So we love the costume contest. We love everything about that. Those dogs are just absolutely adorable. And we found out that they actually raised almost $8,000 at that event. So that is just wonderful for the CVAS. When we come back, we have a sit-down interview with the executive director of the Cumberland Valley Animal Shelter, Tiffany Smoyer, and another special guest. Stay tuned.
I was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
I already knew that I was gonna go to college, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science. After that, I'm gonna get my law degree. Then I'm gonna come back to Detroit, boost the economy, become the mayor or something, try to make the situation better for other people. I feel like I owe it to the city. I'm determined. It's gonna happen. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
The Cub 231 is home to Shippensburg University's Pride Center. The Pride Center offers consultation services to all students across all departments. With the goal of creating a more inclusive campus community, the Pride Center hosts a number of events. The Pride Center has a multitude of active initiatives like the Pride Library and the Gender-Free Clothing Closet to help create inclusivity on campus. If you can't make it in person to the Pride Center Monday through Friday, you can follow the Pride Center on social media to stay up to date on all upcoming events and initiatives.
Hello and welcome back to the SU DogCast. Oh, hi, buddy. I'm here with Tiffany Smoyer. She's the Executive Director of the Cumberland Valley Animal Shelter. Tiffany, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
So can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and the special guests you brought?
Sure. So I started a couple of years as a kennel tech at the shelter. Was there for about a year, left, continued to volunteer. The position recently came up, just started in October. So far it's been a fantastic ride. But yeah, so the shelter is, and we're a nonprofit organization, so it's a little different than the ASPCA's, humane societies that you see there. So it is by donation only, with all of our jurisdiction areas. But, and this is, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
So who is this with us today then?
So we have Tyson. Tyson is 6 months old. He's a German Shepherd mix. He was surrendered to us about a month ago. And he smells the treats in my pocket. Tyson has been neutered and vaccinated and microchipped, so he is ready to go for adoption.
Right.
But this is his first time going out and about in public. He's great in the car, not so much with the stairs yet, as we noticed. But yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I know we discussed before this, but this is the first time the animal shelters brought an adoptable dog out for an event since pre-COVID, is that right?
Yes, it is. So it's pretty exciting to finally get out here and break the ice on that and hopefully have more adventures with our fur friends out in the public eye.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's nice that they get to see, right now our adoption is still kind of closed at the moment, so we have our adoption dogs consolidated with our isolation dogs just because of a staffing issue. So anytime they get out in the public eye is so nice, isn't it, buddy? Yes, you want one of these. Here you go.
Yeah, so can you just tell us a little bit about the CVAS mission, what else you do, how many dogs are up for adoption, anything like that?
Sure. Right now I believe we're at 11. Please don't hold me to that. Our adoption counselor works really hard each day to get them out the door as their applications come through. So the mission as a whole is to protect and shelter and of course adopt out the homeless animals in the Franklin County area and the areas surrounding within our jurisdiction. And the adoption process is pretty simple. You just apply online. It's good for up to 6 months. So even if you don't find your forever friend at the time, there's always a chance. It is 21 years or older, but yeah, so we've been doing really well. I just pulled our year-to-date numbers. It was 465, so we're doing really well. And then last year, I think we were over 500. So even through the pandemic, we did really well with our adopting. So
that's great. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about the adoption process. So what happens after they submit the application? Like, do they come in to visit the dog and like check out the shelter?
Yep. So once their application's approved, the adoption counselor will call and set up an appointment. And we prefer with the cats, it's not so bad because you come in and you kind of cat shop and you get to play in the bonding area with the dogs. They have an appointment. Sometimes the dog you choose to apply for isn't a great fit, so you might ask to see another one, which is totally fine. We have had cases where it takes more than one visit with the dogs. We want to make sure that we set them up for success.
Hi, buddy. Hello. Hi.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He loves kisses.
No, oh, so
he's definitely a cuddle monster.
So, oh, hello. Okay.
Okay, bud.
So how do you find these dogs? Like, does everyone surrender them, or is the animal shelter like going out and rescuing dogs like on the spot, or like how does that work?
So it's a mixture of the strays and owner surrender. Owner surrenders, they typically fill out the form and then they get the approval. It's a case-by-case basis. We have to make sure that our staff ratio to animals is appropriate so that everyone gets the proper care that they need daily. But yeah, so typically if the strays come through, we have a process that we follow. Can't get into too much detail, sorry, but yeah, so they come in and of course, all of our animals are spayed and neutered before they, and microchipped before the adoption.
Yeah. Is there like a minimal age or anything for the dog? Like, is it like 6 months is like when people can start adopting them, or is it from any age?
No, we've had a couple sets of puppies already this year. We have like a foster to adopt program, so once they're ready to go, we would prefer them to get into their potential home, even if they have to foster them out until the procedure is done, because our veterinarian likes to use, depending on the breed and the type of dog and whatnot, it can be anywhere between 3 to 6 months for the spay or neuter.
Okay.
So if we have puppies that are young enough, then we'll do the foster to adopt program.
Okay, great. That's awesome. So what about older dogs? Like, are there dogs in the shelter that have been there for years or like a long time, longer than most of the other dogs? Or
Sometimes, yes. In my situation, we don't have any at the moment that have been up for adoption for too long. I think that Jack, sorry, not Jack. What's his name? Oh my gosh, this is terrible. He was our second chance fun. He'd been with us since March. I can't believe it. I always call him Jackson. It's not his name at all. I'm so sorry if it comes to
No, that's all right.
Anyway, so he was the second chance. He was our second chance babe. So he came in with a broken leg as a stray. No one claimed him. So of course we took care of that, paid for all of the medical, got his leg cared for. It was 8 weeks of care for recasting and whatnot that our techs had to take care of. And he's still there. We've had a couple of interests. But,
yeah.
But other than that, I think everyone is still kind of new.
Yeah. So, oh, your mic fell down. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Oh.
You're okay. Tyson must have gotten too excited. But are there any specific breeds that you think or that you have seen that are in the animal shelter longer than others? I know sometimes pit bulls can get kind of a bad reputation.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen that since my time at the shelter. Some people may say or think different, but that is a large number across, from here even over into Berkeley County, West Virginia. You tend to see a lot of bully breeds coming through, but almost all of them are big teddy bears. So I haven't seen it have an impact at all.
That's
with
good.
with their adoption rating. No, it's just making sure we find the best fit and the right home.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you find that, I guess my final question is how people can get involved? I know a lot of my friends have come to the animal shelter and just spent time with the dogs and cats that are up for adoption, but how else can people get involved in supporting the animal shelter?
Yes, so we have been revamping our volunteer program, so that's something really big that we're trying to get into. So if you know anyone who wants to volunteer, they can go online at civis-pets.org. And there's a volunteer application, and it kind of gives you the list of things. And if animals aren't really your thing, sometimes we have people who come in who are allergic, but they want to still make a difference. We have a thrift store down on Main Street in Chambersburg. And so our thrift store is always looking for help there too. And every dime made there goes straight to the shelter as well.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so cat socialization all the way to, laundry assistance, anything helps right now.
Yeah. And I know you do have a couple events that you do throughout the year.
We do.
We went to the animal shelter, the Chambersburg Ball walk, the dog walk.
The dog walk,
yeah.
yes.
So are there any events like coming up or anything like that?
I don't believe we have any fundraising events like that until our Cabin Fever Festival, which occurs at the last Friday of February. So more to come on that towards the end of the month and into January. We do have an open house. It's the first Christmas open house since pre-COVID. That's from 11 to 3, so you can bring your furry friend in, refreshments, get a photo with Santa, all that fun stuff. And that's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
All right.
Yeah.
That's wonderful to hear. Well, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you coming down here and speaking to us about the Cumberland Valley Animal Shelter.
Thank you for
hopefully,
having us.
hopefully someone will adopt Tyson soon. He is absolutely adorable. Please, if you're thinking about adopting a pet, please go and adopt Tyson. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Shippensburg University DogCast. I'm Bailey Casada. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you.